Community Matters, solutions to local issues, and discussions with leaders who are making a positive difference from your encouraging Spirit FM. Here's your host, Doug Day.
Welcome back to Community Matters right here on Spirit FM. And today we are joined by one of our friends who's been on Community Matters a couple of times, Karina Hall, the president of Duffel Bag Project. Karina, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me, Doug.
Absolutely. So as we get started here, for new listeners of Spirit FM and maybe people who haven't heard about Duffel Bag Project, share a little bit about what this program and what this nonprofit is all about.
Absolutely. And thank you for giving me this platform to do so. Duffel Bag Project is a nonprofit 501c3 organization. Our primary service is to foster kids, but we've also served homeless veterans in the past years. So our focus is to give what dignity we can by trading trash bags into duffel bags and giving a message of hope. So most people don't know, but the majority of foster kids who travel and go from home to home or just in the foster system, they have all their belongings in trash bags, those big black trash bags. That in itself is just horrible because the subliminal message that's coming across is, this is what you're worth. Your belongings go in a trash bag, and that's just horrible. So our first prong in duffel bag is to give what dignity we can by trading that trash bag for a duffel bag. And the second, which we dub the more important, is that on every one of our duffel bags that we give, we embroider on the flap Joshua 1:9. And that verse talks about how God is with us wherever we go. And it's a verse of encouragement and hope and love. And
I love that. Yeah, such an amazing thing. Yeah. Share a little bit about how this all got started, because this is one of the stories that I love to hear from you.
Duffel bag was really just something that kind of fell out of the sky pretty much. God gave me this vision and this just overwhelming desire and energy to start this nonprofit and organization, which I had no idea about. I was not affiliated with any kind of fostering program. I didn't know the statistics. So I was just kind of in a place in my relationship with God where I was just asking, use me. I wasn't searching for anything big, maybe go help a neighbor. Not sure.
Yeah.
And then I just got this amazing vision of a kind of like a mid-teen, a silhouette of someone carrying a duffel bag, and it's dark all around, and there's this spotlight, and the spotlight is a cross. And instantly I knew I had to get duffel bags. There was going to be a Bible verse on it, and I had to get them to children throughout. And it was it's a pretty wow moment because I was not a home ec person. I never sewed. I didn't know any, I'm not craftsy. So every bit of step, every bit of growth was really relied on him, just seeking him, and he would provide people left and right, the direction, the funding. And we were growing from 24 bags, getting out every 2 months, every 2 months in my little garage, to now we're getting almost 1,500 a year, so over 200 bags a month, sometimes more. It's growing exponentially. I think we're in 11 different states right now. And what I mean by we're donating to organizations within 11 different states, recurring donations. So it's been an amazing trip.
Yes, definitely amazing to see, just God give you that calling. And then instead of just being like, maybe that's for somebody else, you really stepped into that, which I think is one of the more amazing parts of that story. So share a little bit just for people that might not be crafty, might not be into sewing. What is that process and how long does it take to prepare a duffel bag to go out?
Well, it takes as long or as good as the machine you have. So when we first started preparing, we had these smaller home ec machines we got at Amazon. It took like 48 minutes if we pressed every line. And now it takes about 20 minutes to do 2 bags, which is amazing because we have this bigger industrialized machine. So what happens is our treasurer will order these bags and we order them in bulk. And we have a workhouse where the machine is stored. We have 4 to 5 embroidery people always rotating throughout the week. They spend hours embroidering these bags. It's amazing, and organizing and packing them. So they get these bags, they put them in the machine, they hit start, it embroiders, they take them out, they cut off little trimming edges, pack them up, and we ship them out. We have organizations we used to cold call because we know over 400,000 kids are in foster care. We know kids need bags. So we used to cold call and, cold call different states and Google, hey, foster organizations like, hey, do you need duffel bags? And they'd always say yes. So we're at a point in time where we don't need a cold call anymore, that we get new requests coming in every so often. So we'll have a request come in via email, or someone's heard from us, give us a call from one of our donees that we currently have. and they give us a call and we get their information, kind of vet their organization, and then pack them up and ship them, and they become now a new reoccurring donee.
That's amazing. Yeah. So what did 2025 look like for Duffel Bag Project? What were some of the highlights? What were, some of the things that went really well in that year for you guys?
Every year I like, because every year brings growth. And 2025 was a year of consistency and growth, and almost like thickening the foundation of where we're at. We grew by, I think it was either another 2 or 3 organizations on our website. Yeah, we grew by 2 or 3 different donee organizations that we donate to. We added 2 different states, including Montana and Utah, which is really great because we're expanding to the West Coast. And we significantly increased our output in duffel bags. So getting a year of stability, upgrading our website, just finding more of that groundwork. And this coming year, we already have a request for bags to go out in Africa again.
Wow.
So previously, we've donated to Uganda and Pakistan. I think that was 2 or 3 years ago. And since then, it's been stateside, which is great. We have no borders. But this new request came in for Uganda again, but it's a different organization. And I think we're going to be using one of the native languages there, which is great because since we're an organization with no borders, we can change the language to suit the recipient of that locality with the same verse.
Yeah, that's great. Share a little bit about, hearing this. It seems like a pretty simple concept. What are some of the obstacles that you face in getting these duffel bags to people, or even, just kind of in the process of putting this whole thing together?
Yeah, so it's a variety of obstacles. So I would say because we're 100% run on volunteer time still. And that's something that we are really proud of. And that's a way that we can show how God is continuously pushing this organization forward. So I would say sometimes, because everything is dependent on volunteers, all of our volunteers, including myself, there's always this point in time, and it happens throughout, where we have to choose, okay, are we going to self-sacrifice again, instead of doing this, go embroider or whatever it is, to continue to push this mission through. And I think that's where God really shines through, is because he's always moving our hearts to continuously push through and reach these foster kids. And the whole point, that the part that gives heavy on our heart, is that we know the verse that is on these Bibles. It's not just giving a bag, because a bag is a bag. You can put anything and everything can go into it, and it changes within. But the heart behind it is that knowing that God's word is alive, and that verse that's on there, do not be dismayed nor discouraged, for I'm with you wherever you go. That is a living word, and it touches and it plants that seed that God is with them. And we know when we pray that he uses that. So going back to the obstacles, is that self-sacrifice that we sometimes have to do, but it's such a rewarding experience. It's probably really isn't even that much of an obstacle. But when we give these bags out, it's hard to see the kids that receive them. So we don't really see the kids as kind of like this hope-filled anticipation and knowing that they're getting it, because we know the organizations are foster organizations that have hands-on with the kids. So it's great to see that. And we're always looking for new ways to get bags throughout the world and to expand the mission, because we're all really kind of new at this, and God paves the way in different ways and provides different people who has a new idea. We're really excited about this Africa, expanding to Africa, and now we're wanting to get more, so the obstacle is, okay, how are we going to do that? What's the next step? What's the correct way in doing this? So it's kind of a blurred, and we know God's moving us forward, but we're trusting in him, but also searching and seeking the avenues on how we're going to distribute these bags overseas.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And one of the things, I love what you said too, because I think that's, similar what you guys are doing to us as well, is, we're just kind of sowing the seeds, we're putting the things out there. We're not always seeing the results of who's getting the duffel bag or who's hearing a song on the radio or whatever that might be. But it's in those moments where, I think God calls us to that faithfulness that I think you just exemplify so well. So share a little bit about, kind of what that looks like for you.
Well, I love that you said that, because just like what you're doing with the music, we are all called and we're all parts of different bodies. And, God has his purpose in our lives, and it's a puzzle piece that we can't see, but it's happening. So the music that you guys put, it inspires hope, it inspires love and reconnection. And the bags that we use, plants the seed, and the people, the organizations that fill the bags, they're working with the children. And so it's this huge puzzle that comes together so beautifully.
One other thing I would love to hear, because, talking about being volunteer run and things like that, if somebody's listening today and they're like, I love what you guys are doing, I love the work that's happening, how can I get involved? What does that look like for somebody today?
Yes, if they would please reach out either on our social media, they can drop us a message on Facebook or Instagram, or go to our website. Our website leads directly to our admin email. And if they just say, hey, I really want to get involved, what can we do? And we can connect with them and see what strengths they'd like to use, how they could use them, and just develop further. We still send out Bibles. That happens. So locality, or even if you're not in our Lynchburg and Bedford area, we have, I'm going to post it on our social media today, where we include bookmarks now. And each one of we upgraded our Bibles to what we were spending on our tabs before. In our Bibles, we've pulled together and we've upgraded, and now we're purchasing a more high quality Bible that has genealogy, it has a timeline on it, and it's more inclusive for younger and teens, because we were running into a problem where teenagers didn't want to accept the Bibles if it said Holy Bible for Kids. And so when we purchase these Bibles in bulk, we need to we can't spend, certain amount with little kids and bigger kids, because the age range that comes into foster care is a huge variety. And so these Bibles we now include these bookmarks, and these bookmarks, you can write a verse on it or an encouraging prayer. We just ask that there's no cursive or names. But if someone would like to buy these, fill them out, we're always looking for volunteers like that. They can send them to our P.O. Box, which is 163 Good, Virginia, and 24556. It's also on our website. Or if they're interested in embroidering or donating, because I know there's going to be expansion coming in the future, and we're going to need, right now we have a 2-head machine, and I know in the future we're going to need a bigger machine, and a bigger machine will produce more. So there's ways to help us out. Sharing on social media is huge. If you can't offer donation, totally get it. But prayer has been the sustaining feature of this organization, and word of mouth. So give us a share, give us a like, tell people about us. And that's really a good way. So if you want to reach out to us personally, go to our website, Duffel Bag Project, DUFFLE, not EL, LE bagproject.org, or email us at admin@duffelbagproject.org.
That's amazing, Karina. That truly is amazing to see how God has been working so much through, this nonprofit and everything that's happening. So as we wrap up, I would love for you, I know you talked a little bit about expansion for the year, but share a little bit about what you're hoping to see happen this year with the Duffel Bag Project.
I am hoping to see another level up, I would say, another level up of even more production and more reaching out, whether in the states, because we have, I think, it might be 12 states, 11 or 12 states. But if it's, getting to all 50 states or 20 states or 30 states and expanding overseas, we just want to reach more kids. We really want to share. We know they're out there, so we don't keep a storage of bags. If we have a storage of bags, then we know someone needs them. So we get them out, and that's when we'll cold call again. But we really just want to reach more foster kids, and more. Last year we donated more to homeless veterans, so that we do as well. It's people who are in that state of need and that state of desperation where they need God. And so our goal for 2026 is just to continue to expand. I don't really like putting numbers on it because I don't know where God wants to direct it or locality, but I just want to continue. And I want our volunteers and our organization to continue doing what we're doing and just increasing all the time. And we're always praying and asking for prayer for protection, for tenfold blessings, so we can continue to expand our reach.
That's amazing, Karina. Well, thank you so much for the work that you're doing. And thank you so much for taking some time today to just share what's going on with the Duffel Bag Project. And we're excited to see continued growth and continue to hear those stories of the work that you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you so much for this platform. I really appreciate it, Doug.